All right. Let's just jump straight into this. This is quite a short series, actually, but I wanted to review it because I do believe Fusion. Thank you for the follow, Emerge. I do believe Fusion are the best uh, dive rush team. Shanghai showed a weakness of it when they played against New York. They did look really good, but they didn't look the best at it. Shock looked really bad at it. They need to improve at it drastically. Um, Mayhem look all right at it. Atlanta look all right. Valiant looked good. But Fusion definitely looked the best. They looked so clean at it. They destroyed the LA teams because they're so good at this comp. So I want to analyze every member of the Fusion and how they play a part in the way this comp works. And Li Zhang is it's a very Rhine-esque comp, and this it's kind of like a Rhine comp. It's like goats. This comp very much plays like goats. I don't know if they play it this point. Even if they don't, I'll just review this this map just because it's a fun map to review because it's so different. I love this point and this map because a lot of it's so different. Like it's very Rhine as comp because of the lack of the high grounds. But here there's the difference of the Sig and the Zarya. So the Zarya has the bubbles, and that allows you to get kind of brief, a few seconds to take space, and you can have you do a lot of damage through Sig, through Sig, because you can melt his shield really fast now, and against Diva as well. So it's a strong pick, but Sig does have the sustain. The sustain in the fight versus Azari is the more utility to help his Rhine. Like you can bubble to get bubble your Rhine to get initial initial map control, but you can lose that. And Sigma has the shield that's still very strong, and the grasp and the stun. So personally, I prefer Sigma in this comp, but we'll see what happens. So oh my god, already. I'm gonna have to slow it down because it happens so fast. Okay, so Fusion go through control room or server room. It would be a server room already, and Valiant expect them to match them over here. But they don't, and they take it. And Fusion know they're gonna be coming from here, and then they spam the damage, and they already have their attention right there. So they take a fat fire strike and a sim orb and a Junkrat blast. So Rain dies instantly, and I mean, just look at look at the health here. Like Dreamer is like 200 HP, but Gravy's 200 HP. Like it's done. Like, and they've just used like maybe a conch mine and a fire strike. Like this is done. Like there's no way you can recover from it, and they're already taking the heat. McGravy's isolated. Yeah, this is done. That was a really good rotation for Philly. Let me just check my... Yeah, it's fine. So it was a really good initial rotation there. So this time they do get a fight. They do get back to the fight really early, which is good. And the DPS look to hold the server room, but Valiant just go head on into point. Six shield's gone. So they have the call, and they see Infusion are waiting here because they. I mean, Fury just used his bubble, and they're waiting for Coalescence. So watch Fury. He saves his bubble. Yeah, he saved it because he knew he didn't need it. So that's really good discipline on the bubble usage. There. Turn this down a bit. So that was really good discipline, and Valiant aren't. They do go for the Baptiste, and I do prefer this because the window is so strong here, and with the Sigma, it goes well with the Immortality field. You don't have the initial burst healing that Moira does have, but Bap does have a very good ultimate that's really strong with Junkrat and Symmetra. So I do prefer the Baptiste. I mean, yeah, that's just unlucky. What is it? Yeah, he's kind of hit by his Sim Orb. He peaked his Rhine Shield. So they have to wait. And, I mean, both teams have Sim Wall. Both teams have Tire. Dreamer is... oh, he's looking up on the shadow because Sato used his. The grab is almost ready for Fury. The Rain's up on the beat. Which, I mean, they have been sitting there a lot. And I guess Fusion will be getting the more poke off and not ending the fights as quick. Support and the flex support ult charges are the exact same. So this fight, I'd be looking for an early wall and try to get some early space. And you also have the Tire and the Grav, but I'd expect a Sim Wall first. And I mean, yeah, they're just getting fucking owned. So they do give up the space. They don't fight them there. So they are taking the long angle, which I honestly prefer. Like, they're getting the good spam off. Yeah, I prefer this almost. I mean, yeah, it's a better angle to spam them out, and that's what they're looking to do. And then they can't really take... They don't want to challenge here, so they don't have anything to push with, really. So both tires are happening. Shax goes down. Both walls are up. I want to watch Sato here. Because he's playing very disciplined. On the Rhine. No, he's the wall, the play. Like, he's playing very disciplined. And he's not, and he knows he can't walk into it. I mean, while he's waiting, does Fury not have bubble? I wanna actually go back and watch this fight again. So he's kind of forcing them to move on him, and they're taking the long angles with the spam. Just kind of holding. Hmm. That's really interesting, actually. So they were holding back more so. Huh. It's really interesting. I didn't. Huh. Yeah, that's very interesting. I never really thought about it taking an approach like that to that point of just kind of waiting and getting the spam in and waiting for opportunities, and not just kind of running your head in. And that's better for the Reaper. Hmm. Hmm. I like that. That's very smart. And they're not using the Sigma here. I guess they don't. They don't like the Sigma. Hmm. Anyway, this is the comp I want to be analyzing. This VOD review. So it is Reaper, Sombra, Winston, Diva, Lucio, Moira. Sometimes you see teams trade the Reaper in for a Tracer, but that's not the best option a lot of the time because you do want to be blowing up the tanks with this comp, and that Reaper is way better for that than Tracer. Um, so you want it's like Winston goats. It functions very similar. You have the sustain of the Mora Lucio, and you have the blow up and explosive potential from the Reaper. And the Sombra is very important. The Sombra is the most important hero in this comp, and with Sombra, like it's a different style of Sombra that a lot of Sombras and Korean contenders and such have been doing this for a while, but OWL players are just picking up on this now. It's like a frontline style of Sombra, so you just chuck your translocator as close to the fight as you can get it, and then you just go in, and you don't go behind. You just play frontline, and you play to build EMP. Like you get a hack off on, in the mirror it would be like the Diva or the Winston, or if it's a Lucio in the particular instance you're looking to EMP and they have beat, but it's usually the tanks, and you're just wanting to farm the tanks and you get EMP so fast, and if you're playing this comp against a hog comp, then you're looking to hack the hack the hog, and blow him up really fast. So, Valiant take the pillar immediately. Drain gets hacked. Dreamer has to get out, so that's huge. I mean, yeah. I wanna look back at this fight, and I want to see what each Reaper is shooting at. So we'll start with Shax. So he's just shooting shields. Shax does nothing on the Reaper. Absolutely nothing. He does nothing on the Reaper. So, and we go back to Ivy's POV here. Or go to Ivy's POV. They break the bubble. I mean, it's not even the Reapers who do much. It's just the... It's like the Divas and the Sombra, like... Come on. It's the Sombra then. Yeah, it's really the like they focus the like they're like Fusion. I'll go back to this fight and overview. I really want to break down this comp like really hard. So the bubble breaks for Valiant first. McGravy's DM is all gone. And yeah, they just slowly like they're kind of playing around the pillar, and Dreamer gets his bubble forced out first, or he just uses it first. I feel like he could have waited, and Philly don't just go in super hard. They kind of just play to weed out the resources of Valiant. Damn. They need to fucking fix replay viewers. Buggy as hell. So Valiant go control room. And let's see how that goes. So the Coalescence is a very strong ult in this comp. Because it allows you to push, just like get a really aggressive push off. And has incredible sustain. So Colt, you get it really fast, but it's super important. So Dreamer goes in to make space. And Philly are holding the main door here. And Hisu gets the EMP first. Sato dies, though. So I mean, losing the Winston's bit. I mean, they beat. They call it's winnable. Dreamer's really low, but they do recover it. I just want to watch this play out. There's just so much happening. I mean, there's just stall coming in from Fusion, getting crazy point percent. That was a bad bossum, but they're getting point percent. 3 ults used for Fusion. Was that another EMP? Hisu lapped. Holy shit. They're getting this off the like KSP's getting lapped on the Sombra here, and he gets destroyed in the Sombra matchup. Like that was probably, if you could point to one thing that happened, keep in mind this is just the first thing that you would notice at first glance when I watched this match. Hisu was dominating in the Sombra matchup, like just absolutely dominating. Like, Hisu's so much better of a Sombra than KSP. Like, KSP doesn't play the Sombra, and he's been put onto this role so late, and I feel like either he's got to get better, or you got to put Shax or KSF on it. Like, he's just not comfortable, and it will, like, you need a good Sombra if you're playing against Justice, especially. So, I'm going to watch Sato, because he dies first. So both bubbles are down. He gets hacked, and that's a good focus. So Fury would be the next person to sustain the front fight. So let's watch him, because he does stay alive, to my knowledge. His Winston's gone. He backs up. Goes immediately to another angle to take damage. His team are just, they're staying together even though they're down. And he's just building up the EMP because he knows that's what's going to win them the fight. So, I mean, what do Valiant do once they kill Sato? That's a good dive to take the space of the point. He's low. KSP's down. I feel you can kill the diva. No one knows the diva's low. I think you have to kill the diva. 'Cause the diva's keeping the space alive here. They don't really finish anything off. Like, Fury was so low. And the sustain that they keep, the fusion keep throughout the fight is really strong. They keep their resources well used. They do win the fight, which is impressive. Through keeping together, which is what this comp needs to do. So Dreamer goes in for, they go in. That's a kill on Sato. Oh, he does have Primal, so. These fights are really messy. These EMPs are so much, a million times better from Hisu. Like, they're getting so much more value. These fights have so much in them. It's a weird Primal. And Hisu gets EMP. Like, Hisu is I'm going back and watching Hisu. No, yeah, this was the fight before. Hack the diva. That's a huge hack. He's just building EMP off a Dreamer. Like, look how close he's putting his locator. He's just farming EMP. Dude, like. Like, Fusion seemed to be weeding out the resources first. Really, and waiting for these big hacks. So that's what I'm noticing so far. And King's Row, I feel I was watching Sideshow play this, and he was saying Furia was doing a lot. And usually when I watch the games the first time, I watch them just to watch them, and I don't go too in depth in watching them. But he said Fury did a lot. I'm like, yeah, Fury's good. I mean, he's really stepping up this playoff. So I want to watch him this map because he's always in the right place at the right time. That is his diva. That's what divas should be doing. He's always where he needs to be. Getting the scout. Good. Get trying to get the Sombra. Bashing into them. Very good. Ooh. Who's dove there? So I see McGravy go for someone. Am I fucking losing it? He does go for the locator. So I want to see how this impacts Dreamer. And he gets hacked and they lose control. That's not worth it. That is 100% not worth it for McGravy. That lost them the fight. Like that brief second where he's out of position and his monkey can't be matrixed. Like they just look to take the map control. That's the little shit that these good teams capitalize. Like it's so minuscule. Like a diva just being that close, like closely far to the fight. That was mispositioning from Fusion, though. That was good positioning from Astro. Like, I want to see exactly, like, where he was. So he knows this fight, KSP has EMP. So he's playing... He's playing just out of the effective range. Like, that is so good. Knowing your EMP ranges, especially as Lucio, like that shit, so you can be as close to the fight as possible. And I also want to go back as well to see how they get Hisu. So that's who I do believe they get. So they beat to go on and collapse. It's a good EMP, but an even better beat. I don't even know if they needed to beat that. Was that a good beat? I mean, the tanks just took, like, Sato and Fury took weird positioning there. Like, Sato was going for something. I don't think they needed to beat it. I would have saved beat, but oh well. Yeah, the Fusion mispositioned there. Valiant took advantage of that. Alright, let's go back to Fury. So he has bomb here. I'm interested to see when he uses it. Doesn't save the Matrix. I mean, what does he use Matrix on there? Kind of buying his teammate out. And yeah, I guess they weren't really scared of Blossom. I mean, it was a really bad Blossom. It was really bad, but I feel like he would have saved a bit more. KSP has EMP. He's scouting out for it, seeing if the Sombra does end up going behind. He is behind. Oh. How does that happen? Oh, that was good. I don't know if that was intentional. That was pretty good, though. Fair play. They did catch out the locator. That's playing. That's impressive. You know, just finding the locator because you know Hisu puts it so out in the open and waiting for the overextend. That's pretty impressive. So he's there to Matrix the Reaper. Good hack. Almost. That was so close. That's a good bomb. That was so close to killing stuff too. That did like a lot of damage to so many different targets there. The aliens are doing pretty well. They seem to be getting the higher foot here. And it's also something to point out that you notice these teams aren't just fucking running at each other really. Like their play, it's such a high, it's the highest level, and they don't just run at each other because good teams will just bait out the aggression, and they'll know that they use their amp to get in, and these cooldowns like orb, toss that in, use matrix in, use the bubble, use the pack, use hack, use wraith, teleport, like use these resources to go in, and they'll just back out, and then they'll punish the aggression knowing that they used all their resources and that they have their resources. So it's about, you know, forcing it out and a lot of punishing, it seems, in this high level of play. But in lower levels of play, I don't think it's as important. I mean, you should do that if you can, but a lot of the time you can get away with just running at them. But if they do start punishing you for running at them, then you can't keep doing that. You kind of have to play the neutral and wait for them to use their resources. But I mean, I think you could. I don't know. I haven't watched enough of this comp to really say, is it best just to run at them and try to get that quick fight, or is it in general, even at lower levels of play, just better to better to bait out the resources first? I'd love to hear comms. That'd be so awesome. That's really good map knowledge and awareness. In Fury. This guy's game sense is fucking nuts. He just knows what he's fucking doing. He attacked. Four years, pretty much. I mean, this guy's been playing for fucking ages. This guy's on fucking cloud. He was on Cloud 9. Cloud 9's Overwatch team playing DPS. Like this guy is fucking good. I mean, if you were to think about it, like if I were to rate the divas in Owl, like right now, I'd say Void's the best diva. That guy's really good. And he's the best diva, and his other off tanks are fucking top 3. His Zarya is so good. His Sigma is amazing. His ball is really good too. Like he's got a pretty good ball, quite underrated actually. His Hog is really good. Like his off tank in general is really good. Fury, definitely up there for one of the best divas. Choi's diva is so good. Who else is there? I don't know. Janu, but we haven't really seen it as much. Janu's my favorite, personally my favorite diva player to watch. Krong's probably got a good diva, but I haven't seen enough of it. I mean, if his Sigma's that good, then his diva is probably on another level. But I don't know if they play the diva much in APAC, especially in this meta. I don't know if they play diva much in their match against Seoul that they lost. Hoppa's alright. He's not the elite tier diva though. Meko. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the divas play way more aggressive because they know that their team is there to support them. And they know, they always have an out. They know that if I do this, I know I have a way out and I have a planned exit. Like, yeah, I mean, you can, if you do know what you're doing as diva, then you could afford to play aggressive, but it's also that in combination of knowing that you trust your supports. I mean, I'd fucking trust Alarm. That man's MVP candidate. Like, he's really good. I trust Alarm. Like, he trusts his team to go with him, and he knows how Sato is playing. I mean, you'd be a madman not to trust Alarm. But it's just knowing, like, your ins and outs. This is interesting. Okay, so I wonder why why wouldn't he do? Because I mean, the monkey's jumping in, or Dreamer's jumping in, and McGravy and KSP and Shax, and he notices the split. I mean, I don't think it's bad. I'm not thinking it's bad. It's just really interesting that he does this. Like, I think it's more of a misplay from Valiant, like going in that deep. And I mean, like you're going in without heals. Like last year's on cart, and the supports are pushing cart, and by going on cart, you're denying the only value they're really getting at the time. Like, I guess, yeah, it works. I mean, they have primal. They seem to be fine. I just want to watch it one more time. Interesting. I mean, it worked, but I want to know its thought process. I mean, Fusion. One thing I noticed that Fusion are playing so close together, and so tight and cohesive. And they seem to be like Valiant are always wanting to make the first move, and they're not taking it. They're not challenging that. They're saying, "Do it. Use your resources," and they're playing a very punishing style of this. But I mean, it's hard to tell because a lot of the stuff in OWL, like you plan for specific teams strategies. So I mean, I don't know if this is like the way that the comp like people like KDG think it's meant to be played. Um, KDG's the head coach for Fusion. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell because this comp is, I mean, like a week old. Like a lot of teams started playing this comp 2 weeks ago, so. These blossoms from Shaxx are fucking horrible. I mean, what the fuck is that? He just walks in with just the ladder move. Walks in with Wraith form. Dreamer primals. They get EMP'd. That's really bad from Shaxx. Like that was such a horrible misplay. What the fuck was he doing? I mean, the DPS are like it's DPS diff here. Like Ivy's Reaper's really good. Like he's playing very well with his team, and Shaxx, like, he sometimes goes to these weird clutch blossoms, and like that was just a horrible block. That was so bad. Yeah, like KSP Sombra is so much worse than Hisu's. Like Hisu's Sombra is very good, but one of the best in the world, easily. Come on. Same shit. Yeah. So, the thing to note is that Fusion were playing on defense. So, what are they going to be doing on attack? I mean, I don't know if there's anyone I want to watch particular here. I just kind of want to see the whole of Fusion move in here. Both bubbles are traded. So they're slowly getting the map control. It's a very, they're playing it very slowly here. Dreamer's fucking low. That was really bad. That was a really weirdly timed coalescence. Like, Dreamer was in, and then he backs out, and then they coal, and then like they just lose everything. Doesn't seem that they're that cohesive, and they don't know what they want to be doing. Hey, that was strange. Yeah, that was odd. Come on. Dreamer places bubble. He gets hacked out of it. And Dreamer's low and they can't follow up. And that's the kind of misplay they wait for, yeah. Pushing up to deny map control. Try to get a bit of EMP. Again, they're not committing to anything. Just gotta buy some time. They know what they have to play for. That was bad. That was a bad EMP, and I take it Sato, but they were not planning. The plan was not for a solo EMP. Cause like, I mean, you can see KSP there. Like they just back up. I mean, yeah, I just want to look at the positioning of the supports here. Yeah. Astro was waiting. He wanted that to be a big EMP, but it didn't get enough for them to follow up. Like, they just walked out. They walked away. I mean, it could, if you think about it from the perspective that they know Valiant do this, that they waste resources very early, and they're like, all right, let's punish that, and that's why they did so well. Or it's just that's the best way to play the comp, and that's how Fusion are playing, and that's why they're so good. I mean, to be fair, we've seen one match from Shanghai, and Valiant's an all-right team, but I mean, there's no other team that's like. I mean, I don't know if there's any other teams at NA currently that, from what we've seen, that are better at the Somber Reaper, would be like the second best besides Valiant. I don't think Atlanta are. Like, I mean, Justice don't count. Rain, I wouldn't say. Valiant beat Mayhem. Valiant here, Shock look really bad at it. They don't look that practiced in it. I mean, I feel like they'll improve. They have to improve, or else they'll get fucking bodied this Saturday when they play Fusion. Like, they'll get destroyed if they don't play it better. They 100%. I believe that they can, and they looked a bit better on it at it than they were playing versus when they were playing against Justice, and then they looked better when they played Rain. So, I mean, yeah, Fusion definitely seemed like they're best at this comp. They back off for a second. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, Dreamer seems not coordinated. That man does not know what's happening. He's going for these such deep dives, thinking that his team's can back him up, but his team's not backing him up at all. Like, Astro's getting these beats off every time. Like, ugh. I mean, yeah, these EMPs don't fucking matter. They don't matter. Like, these EMPs are horrible. And I mean, I don't know if I'll review this unless there's a different comp played, because I feel like I've gotten a lot out of watching this. I mean, was this close? Oh, it was. I mean, I want to review Justice shot because I said I would. Oh shit! Wait. There is a difference. So how does this comp play against what Valiant are going to run here? So, Valiant are running the defensive dive. You could run Zen instead of Ana. I feel Ana's better if you're knowing you're going up against this. Zen's better if you're going up in the mirror or you're playing against a hog. But the antis are really strong here. To deny some of the sustain. I mean, yeah. Valiant are just like, fuck, we can't beat them in the mirror. Like, we've been losing. So, they don't take it. So they're waiting. They're like, all right, let's follow a path. They all go here. Like Sato took a safe path out the window to force out the Ana. They got the hack off. They scouted first. They're like, oh shit, they're running this comp. We need to know where they are. They're not going in blind. So, the Hees is scouting. He's like, alright, what's going on here? I mean, Lastro, oh yeah, there he is. He's like, alright, I'm ready. Get the hack off. Bang. Cancel the sleep. And they're all together still. He goes to the pressure dive. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it was enough of a pressure. Ooh, that was good. I'm like, fuck, they're so low. Holy shit. Yeah, it's both. No, but none of them have heals. Yeah, the coordination is insane. Like, they're like he's just relaying the information. And they're like, all right, let's go. I think it could have been a better pressure dive from Sato, but I mean, it did the job. Yeah, I mean, comms, especially with Sombra. You need comms with Sombra. That's how she gets her value. That's why she's so good in team play, but so ass in ladder. So they're all going together. They're taking the path where there's the least sight lines. And they're like, all right. And the Reaper is not as good here. And this is where I think the Tracer is the best option. Because the Reaper, I mean, the Winston's not going to play to the sustain fight. And, I mean, the Tracer can find better pathing to the backline. And you are just looking to pressure the backline. Yeah, there's Hisu. Like, they go, like, I know they can go together. And the backline is really strong. So, yeah. So that's it. Now. Let's change the title. Yeah, they do it really well. They do all four of those things really well. All right.